This is the axolotl we call the melanoid, known for its striking black coloration. Hello, I'm Shafik, and I'm on a mission to uncover all the secrets of exotic pet care that have been lost in the aquarium. And one of those secrets pertains to a fascinating creature, the Melanoid Axolotl, or as I like to call them, the gothic supermodels of the amphibian world. Now, as someone who spent more hours than I'd like to admit staring into aquariums and obsessing over water parameters, I think I'm qualified to talk about these little black beauties. So, let's dive into the world of Melanoid Axolotls and see how we can keep these aquatic vampires happy and healthy. And, you know, when I first laid eyes on a Melanoid Axolotl, I was absolutely mesmerized. I mean, have you ever seen a creature that looks like it's been dipped in the darkest ink of the night? It's like someone took a regular axolotl and decided to give it a goth makeover. And let me tell you, they nailed it. These little guys are the epitome of aquatic elegance, with their sleek black bodies and those adorable frilly gills that look like they're wearing a Victorian-era collar. But here's the thing about Melanoid axolotls. They're not just a pretty face. Oh no, these little guys are full of surprises. For starters, did you know that their striking black color is actually the result of a genetic mutation? That's right, they're basically the X-Men of the axolotl world. And just like any superhero, they need a proper lair to thrive in. That's where we come in, fellow axolotl enthusiasts. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sarah, how hard can it be to care for a water-dwelling salamander that never grows up? Well, let me tell you, it's not rocket science. But it's not exactly a walk in the park either. These little guys have some specific needs that we need to cater to if we want them to live their best aquatic lives. First things first, let's talk about their habitat. Melanoid axolotls, like all axolotls, are aquatic creatures, but they're not just any aquatic creatures, they're the divas of the underwater world. They need a spacious tank to show off their fabulous black scales. I'm talking at least a 20-gallon tank for a single axolotl. And if you're thinking of getting more than one, well, you better start clearing out some space in your living room, because these guys need their personal space. But it's not just about size. Oh no. The setup of the tank is crucial. Axolotls are bottom dwellers, which means they spend most of their time lounging around on the substrate like tiny, adorable couch potatoes. So, what kind of substrate should you use? Well, let me tell you a little story. When I first set up my axolotl tank, I thought, hey, gravel looks nice. Let's use that. Big mistake. Huge. Axolotls are like toddlers. They'll try to eat anything that fits in their mouths. And trust me, you don't want to be rushing to the vet because your axolotl decided to snack on some pebbles. So what's the solution? Sand, my friends. A fine-grained sand substrate is perfect for these little guys. It's soft on their delicate skin, and even if they accidentally ingest some, it'll pass through their system without causing harm. Plus, it gives the tank a nice, natural look. It's like creating a little beach resort for your axolotl, minus the tiny umbrellas and coconut drinks. Now, let's talk about water quality. Axolotls are sensitive creatures, and the melanoid variety is no exception. They need clean, well-filtered water to thrive. But here's the catch. They don't like strong currents. It's like they're perpetually recovering from a wild night out and can't handle too much movement. So, you need to find that sweet spot between good filtration and gentle water flow. Temperature is another crucial factor. Axolotls are cold water creatures, and they like their water like I like my revenge, served cold. We're talking about a temperature range of 64 to gravity of 15 to 18 degrees. Any warmer, and your axolotl will start to stress out. It's like trying to wear a thick winter coat in the middle of summer. Not fun for anyone involved. And don't even get me started on chlorine. Axolotls are about as tolerant to chlorine as I am to people who talk during movies, which is to say, not at all. Always use a good water conditioner to remove chlorine and chloramines from your tap water before adding it to the tank. Your axolotl's delicate gills will thank you. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the plants in the tank. Axolotls love a well-decorated home, but they're not exactly gentle with their surroundings. They're like bulls in a china shop, except the china shop is underwater and filled with delicate plants. So, what's an axolotl owner to do? Well, you have a few options. You can go for hardy plants like Java fern or Anubias, which can withstand a bit of axolotl roughhousing. Or, if you're feeling fancy, you can use silk plants. They look nice, They're soft on your axolotl skin, and they won't end up as an impromptu salad. But what about hiding spots, you ask? Excellent question. Axolotls love to have places to hide. It makes them feel safe and secure, like a teenager with a keep out sign on their bedroom door. You can use PVC pipes, ceramic pots, or even specially made axolotl hides. Just make sure there are no sharp edges that could hurt your little aquatic friend. Now, let's talk about the most important part of axolotl care: feeding. Melanoid axolotls, like all axolotls, are carnivores. They're not picky eaters, but they do have some preferences. In the wild, they be munching on small fish, worms, and insects. In captivity, we need to replicate this diet as best we can. Earthworms are a great staple food for axolotls. They're nutritious, easy to digest, and axolotls love them. It's like pizza for these little guys. They just can't get enough. You can also feed them bloodworms, brine shrimp, and even small pieces of fish or shrimp. Just remember, variety is the spice of life, even for axolotls. One thing to keep in mind: axolotls have a slow metabolism. They don't need to eat every day. Feeding them 2 to 3 times a week is usually sufficient for adults. Overfeeding can lead to obesity, and trust me, you haven't lived until you've seen an obese axolotl trying to swim. It's both hilarious and sad. Now, let's address a common question I get about melanoid axolotls. Do they need special care because of their color? The short answer is no. Their care requirements are the same as other axolotls. However, their dark coloration can make it a bit trickier to spot health issues. It's like trying to find a black cat in a dark room. So, you need to be extra vigilant in monitoring your melanoid axolotl's health. Speaking of health, let's talk about some common issues to watch out for. Axolotls can be prone to fungal infections, especially if the water quality isn't up to par. If you see any white fluffy growths on your axolotl, it's time for a vet visit. They can also suffer from stress-related issues if their environment isn't right. Signs of stress include loss of appetite, hiding more than usual, or floating at the surface of the water. One unique aspect of axolotl care is their incredible regenerative abilities. These little guys can regrow lost limbs, organs, and even parts of their brain. It's like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie. However, this doesn't mean you should be careless with their care. Prevention is always better than cure, even if that cure involves regrowing body parts. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Sarah, this all sounds great, but can I handle an axolotl? Well, let me tell you, if I can do it, anyone can. When I first started keeping axolotls, I was as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But with a bit of research, patience, and a whole lot of love, I've managed to create a little slice of axolotl paradise in my living room. Remember, keeping a melanoid axolotl is a commitment. These little guys can live up to 15 years in captivity if properly cared for. That's longer than some marriages. So make sure you're ready for the long haul before you bring one of these black beauties home. In conclusion, melanoid axolotls are fascinating creatures that make wonderful pets for the right person. They're like the gods of the aquatic world, mysterious, a bit dramatic, and absolutely captivating. With the right care, they'll thrive in your home aquarium, providing you with years of joy and endless conversation starters. So there you have it, folks. Everything you need to know about caring for melanoid axolotls. I hope this guide has been helpful and maybe even inspired some of you to consider bringing one of these aquatic wonders into your life. Remember, a well-cared-for axolotl is a happy axolotl, and a happy axolotl makes for a very happy owner. That's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any experience with melanoid axolotls or if you're thinking about getting one. And hey, if you have any funny axolotl stories, I'm all ears. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more exotic pet care tips. And remember, in the world of axolotls, black is always in fashion. Until next time, keep those tanks clean and your axolotls happy.